Hello, so it is late in the evening and everybody else has gone to bed. We have a bit of sickness in our house at the moment. So that is why I'm talking quietly and while the lighting is not very good, but I just have a few thoughts I want to share, and it's something I wanted to share a couple of months back, I think, but I ended up sharing something else instead, and I have been thinking about this again. So when I was a teenager, my kind of dream for my life was to be a missionary in a third world country. But life didn't turn out quite how I thought it was. Instead, I married somebody who came to New Zealand, to my country, and who is a little bit like a missionary, who is a missionary in my own country. And I learned that every person without Christ is the mission field. It's not the place. Every person that doesn't know Christ is the mission field, and that every person with Christ is a missionary. Lately, 3 different families or people or groups of people that I know have gone overseas as missionaries or doing mission trips, and it's just kind of challenged me again to challenged my mindset, because I do live in my own country, and although I am busy doing involved in different Christian ministry, it's still easy to kind of get selfish with my time or with my money or with anything that I have, my home. I think when you are in your own country, it's just easy to, maybe be more selfish. And so just these other people I know going to different countries, it kind of challenged me and reminded myself that although I'm not a missionary in a faraway country, I'm still a missionary right here, and I need to have that mindset. And a verse I've been thinking of a lot is 1 Corinthians 6 verse 19. Like the last phrase of that verse says, "Ye are not your own, for you are bought with a price. Therefore glorify God in your body and in your spirit, which are God's." So that phrase, "ye are not your own." Everything that I have is not mine, because I've been brought by God through Christ. And if you are a real Christian, then you are also not your own, and that means nothing that you have is your own. So your home is not your own, your money is not your own, your family is not your own, your time is not your own. So even if we live in our own country and we may not be doing Christian ministry all the time, we are a missionary, because if we know Christ, then we are a missionary, and everywhere around us are people who need to know Him. And so we need to give everything that we have to God, because it's not ours anyway, and let God have whatever He wants of us. And sometimes what God wants of us may seem too much or even impossible. And this last week I was teaching a Bible story at preschool, and it was the story of the paralyzed man coming down through the roof. And I told the children how Jesus told him to get up and walk and go home. And I said to them, how could that man do that? He's paralyzed, so how can he just get up and go home? But when Jesus gave him that command, He also gave him the power to do it. And I think whatever God tells us to do or wants us to do, sometimes it seems impossible or too hard. And yet if we will just obey, trusting in Him, He will give us the power as well as the command to do it. And I find that a comforting thought, because sometimes we kind of think, I can't do that, or it's too hard, or I don't have the time or the money or whatever it is. But if we will just obey, then God will give that enabling power or whatever we need to do it. So a challenge to me and a challenge to you: what is your mindset? Do you see yourself as a missionary to whoever is around you? Is everything you have given to God for Him to use however He wants to use?